Anyway, let's talk about porn. How's the chat feel about porn? I'm going to hold a poll here. Vote in the poll. We're going to talk about porn, folks. It's important. It's important. On foxnews.com, we have an opinion piece. Online porn should be banned, and it's long overdue, by David Marcus. For 30 years, we've let the internet harm children and society with porn! Folks, we talk about COVID-19 as a pandemic, and it is a pandemic, and it is serious. But there's other kinds of pandemics in this country. Gun violence, broken homes, and porn. We're going to ban porn. I'm here for it. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's read what we got. Let's see. Let's go. So what is this guy's name again? Marcus? David Marcus. All right, David. What I am about to suggest will seem bizarre, maybe even impossible. But hear me out. The United States should seek to ban hardcore pornography from the internet. The most obvious reason to do this is that children are inundated with an avalanche of smut. We learned in a 2019 study from the British Board of Film Classification that 51% of 11 to 13-year-olds have seen pornography online. 51%. Honestly, that sounds a little low to me. I'm just saying, 51% seems like that's a lowball estimate, but okay. This means tens of millions of very young children are watching hardcore pornography because we, as a society, frankly without much thought or discussion, have decided to allow it. This despite the fact that one can still be arrested for handling a pornographic magazine to a child. These two things make no sense together. Now, I will say, David Marcus got a point. I will say that is a very interesting tidbit for our society, is if you do give a porno magazine to a child, you can be arrested. Yet, if you give them a cell phone with unrestricted internet access, you can't be arrested. I'm just saying that is an interesting point. Okay. Point taken. Let's continue. And it's not just kids. Pornography has corrosive effects all over society, including for those in front of the camera. And it's not just pornography either. It's the internet itself that exacerbates the problem. Porn has existed for centuries. Pornographic movies for decades. For decades? I don't know, man. Movies have been around for well over 100 years now, bro. They've been around for a lot longer than decades. I'm just saying, okay. But never before the internet was an endless panoply of sexual material at our fingertips every waking hour of the day. For 30 years, we have treated the internet like it's, for some reason, untouchable by the state. What? What? First of all, who's we? Is he talking as, like, society? Or is he talking as, like, Republicans? Because Republicans have been trying to regulate the internet forever. I mean, like, look at the fucking net neutrality bullshit that like collapsed over the course of the Trump administration, right? Like they've been trying to get their grubby paws on the fucking internet forever. So I don't know about that, but this includes social media and big tech censorship as well as porn. The internet intersects with our daily lives so wholly now that this Wild West approach is simply no longer tenable. There is actually no reason why an information superhighway can't or shouldn't have rules of the road. Rules that protect kids from obscenity or stop important, accurate stories about laptops, for example. The big two problems facing America, Hunter Biden's laptop and porn. This guy, you can tell this guy's got his head on straight. This guy's got every marble is in the case, and it's facing the right direction. You can tell. Is there any more? Oh, there's a lot more. Okay. And of course, we do have some rules regarding child porn, fraud, identity theft, and defamation, to name a few. But when it comes to pornography, our society has been oddly permissive. For decades now, the internet has felt like something that is happening to us, not something we control. I'll say I agree with that sentence. I genuinely think that that's a very well put sentence, that the internet has felt like something that is happening to us and not something we control. That's true. I don't think Hunter Biden's laptop is in any capacity on the list of things to care about. But that is true. We don't control the internet. We don't control what we see. Algorithms control everything. A lot of times I ask people, how did you find my podcast? And they say, oh, it came up in the search bar. Or it came up in a recommended. It came up blah, blah, blah. You didn't search for my show. The algorithm showed it to you. Now, is that a good thing? Is that us taking advantage of the algorithm? Maybe. But every time you look on the computer, every time you use Twitter, every time you use Facebook, you're just getting what these companies want to give you. So that, just throwing that out there. Every time you open up all of these websites and see right-wing media, for example, that benefits corporations, for example, that's what their aim is. To profit off of your hatred and your desire to censor. I also love how this guy's entire purpose of this article is like, Hunter Biden's laptop was censored, so my response is, let's ban porn. Okay. What does KBJ have to do with this? Well, let's keep reading and find out. There are predictable objections to banning online porn or even limiting access to it. Armchair libertarians, hands thrown up, say there is nothing we can do to stop young kids from watching it. How can you even define it? They ask. The Supreme Court has its famous and vague, I know it when I see it standard. But it can certainly be defined. This is not an epistemological quandary we need to surrender to. As to free speech, people are free to make porn, but they're responsible for where it goes. How does that factor into revenge porn, for example? I don't know. This guy doesn't see. I don't see this guy really thinking out all the different possibilities here. We are told that banning porn is impractical because people will find a way around it, and of course that's true of every law. We pass them anyway. Finally, we are told this is up to parents, as if kids don't go to libraries or schools or have friends. In this year of the parent, we have learned that so many do not want to co-parent with the state, but they also see the need for state action to protect kids, such as bans on drag shows for them. Wait, what? Wait. We have learned that so many do not want to co-parent with the state, but they also see the need for state action to protect kids, such as bans for drug. Okay, so okay, here we go. So this is where all the right-wing garbage comes in. Okay, so now in 1994, when then Mayor Rudy Giuliani began the transformation of crime and poverty-ridden New York City, one of his first actions was to kick the porn theaters out of Times Square. It was not a minor policy, but what he understood was that those coursing avenues on the public square and porn was choking the life out of it. Today, the public square is in the palm of our hands, and it's time to tear down the virtual porn theaters. Porn would still be available in all its other myriad forms, all of which are vastly more protective of children. If banning porn from the internet seems like a radical idea, it is, but allow me to suggest that we have a radical problem on our hands, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so, Jesus Christ, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, should we ban porn? I mean, obviously the answer is no, but I'm not going to lie to you. I think that there is a huge problem with, not just with porn. Porn is one of the least of my concerns, though it is a list. It is on the list. But giving kids unrestricted access to the internet. That's the problem. That's the core problem here. Now, having unrestricted access to the internet, they might stumble upon porn. Okay. Is that problematic? Would you want more control over that experience? Maybe, but also that's kind of weird, don't you think? Like, I don't know. Like, a parent is like, oh, you're 14. Here's a porno mag. Isn't that illegal, right? So, I don't know, man. But, like, I think the core problem here is unrestricted access to the internet. I think giving someone who's, like, 8 years old a phone or a tablet or a computer, a laptop, whatever, and they can search anything on there, and they don't know any form of media literacy. They don't know what this and that is. They have no frame of reference to even comprehend the internet, right? I think that that's a problem. I do think that that's a problem. I think porn is probably the least problematic thing on the list of problems. Like, I think becoming a right-winger is a big problem. You know, you go on the internet, you search a couple things, you have these big billionaire-funded news outlets telling you gay people are the blame and they're the problem and it's all the gay people, and then you turn into a right-wing fucking psychopath. That's a problem. That is a problem. We also have to talk about how a lot of online communities are infested with right-wing psychopaths. That's a problem. I remember being a teenager and playing Halo 3 when Halo 3 came out. And you turn. I remember I didn't have a voice chat device, because you need to have like a special device to plug into your controller, if anyone remembers this. So I got one later on, and I was super excited. Oh, I get to talk to my teammates. And it was every match. It was just people like screaming slurs every second. And I was like, oh, I bought a fucking headset to talk to people because I'm like, oh, there's a grenade over there. And no, they're just like talking about how much they hate black people. So it's like, okay. You know, I think that's a problem. I think that's way more of an issue than porn, personally. But also, note here that there's really no solutions. This fucking stupid article, like, it's like, okay, we need to ban all porn. That's not a solution. That's not going to solve any problem. And like, if you even bring forth any like regulatory agency that has the capability of banning all porn, right, then, I mean, Jesus Christ, we're talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, that's Hunter Biden's laptop on steroids. But yeah, so I mean, I think unrestricted access to the internet is a big problem. I think that's the root problem of this. But you know what? I think porn isn't always a good thing. Are we allowed to have this conversation? I mean, I'm pro-porn. You know, I watch porn sometimes, you know, hey, I'm just saying. I'm human. But I think there's a lot of problems of people like getting like porn addictions. That's a problem. But what's the root cause of a porn addiction? Right? Like, what is the root cause of that? I don't think having access to porn is the root cause of a porn addiction. I think having access to porn can fuel a porn addiction. I think that's true. But what is the root cause of a porn addiction? Someone being addicted to porn, right? They've got some problems in their life. You know, maybe there's a pandemic and they can't go outside and meet people, right? We see statistics that since the pandemic started, like the sex rate of the average adult in this country is like, boop! People aren't fucking anymore. In the good dick way or otherwise. So, I don't know. I think people developing porn addiction is something that I think develops more so with how we handle society in general. Like, let's assume we had a world where we took this pandemic seriously in February of 2020, right? And then we locked down for 6 months or whatever. And then we went back outside and everything's fine. Like that's the thing, is the people that advocate for this stuff, they always want to ban like the problem and ignore the root cause. Because if you ban porn, right, without affecting at all the material conditions that lead to people having problems with their porn addictions or whatever, they're just going to get addicted to porn anyway, and it's going to be harder for them to find, or they're going to get addicted to something else. So, I mean, articles like this are fucking stupid. We already know that. But I do think that there's something there to discuss. I think the idea of the internet just like giving you unrestricted access to everything, Like, how do you have parental controls on Twitter, for example? How is that possible? Like I remember when I was on Twitter, and the first time, like, I was in a Twitter conversation, like, we were arguing about politics or some shit, and then I look at their profile, and it says, like, 14 in the profile, and I'm like, I'm arguing with a 14-year-old about, like, healthcare. Like, this is, like, during the primary or something. First of all, this motherfucker can't even vote, and we're having, like, an argument about universal healthcare. But, like, then I was like, why are 14-year-olds on Twitter? Like, and it's like, I don't know, man. I think that there's a problem with unrestricted access to the internet, but I don't know how we fix that. Banning porn doesn't fix that. And it doesn't fix all the other problems that having unrestricted access to the internet bring about, right? So, what do? I don't know. Maybe as a society, we should be more in touch with one another. Maybe parents should be more willing to, I don't know, raise their child instead of just, like, leaving them with toys like the internet and just hoping for the best. But then also, like, parents have to work a lot. We live in a hyper-capitalist dystopia where parents oftentimes are both working, or if you're lucky enough to have a two-parent household, sometimes you have a single mother that works 2 jobs. Right? So, like, I don't know, if we want to solve the attention crisis that our kids are being left unattended with toys like the internet, the way you solve those problems is by giving parents the opportunity to actually spend time with their kids. I mean, again, this is the same party that wants to ban porn. This is the same fucking party that was, like, 6 months ago or however long ago, I don't remember, was like, oh, paid time off for your family to go on vacation. That's socialism. So, okay, so one end, the parents need to be there to raise their children all the time. The other end, the parents taking time off to raise their children is evil and socialism. Like, what the fuck? Right, so these people are deeply unserious. You need to understand that. But, you know, sometimes they stumble upon some interesting things to have conversations about. But should we ban porn? I'm going to go with no on this one. That's just I'm just guessing. I'm in this direction. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Probably not the best idea. But, you know, is everyone looking at porn all the time a good thing? Maybe. I don't know. Depends. But also, I think there's much bigger problems in our society than porn. So that's just me.